Cosmopolitan once said, our bodies aren't just there to look nice. Our bodies are there for us to live, breathe, and experience through life within ourselves. So that's what leads us to today's topic about body positivity. I have a great panel today where we're going to talk about just what their body positive journey has been like, what body positivity means to them, and how they've learned to embrace it and just appreciate themselves and who they are and the people around them. Welcome to the Whole 9 Years 2.0. I'm your host, Jamuna Sila. So first off, I'm just going to let them introduce themselves and tell us what they're on about.
My name is Christy Obiro. I am a professional stylist. I am a fashion blogger. I am also a writer and a digital content creator.
Hi, my name is Pelesia Wambia. I am a fitness personal trainer, a fitness model, and also an assistant director at Good Morning Kenya show. So yeah, that's majorly what I do.
My name is Mukanda. I'm a personal assistant and also a blogger.
So, like I said earlier, our conversation is going to be based on body positivity. And as you've heard, all of them have different fields that relate to what it's like to learn to appreciate your body, from writing to styling to fitness. Yeah, so I wanted to ask you guys, like on a personal level, either to like off the cuff, no like official explanation, what does body positivity mean to you guys?
Let me start. So for me, body positivity is, first of all, learning to accept where you are as a person, first of all, mentally, and then now physically. Because if I say, let's say, for example, for a big person, you might be very comfortable, very fit, but if your mental state is not where you are, even for your body, and someone just be like, ay, na umenona, for example, it will just automatically, it will, depending on where you are with your mental state, it will really affect you. So for me, body positivity is majorly, first of all, mentally. Yeah, that's what I'd say.
Yeah, I agree with you. And I think just to add on to that, when it comes to body positivity, I think it's an issue of how you want, if you don't like how your body is, you can change it. Yeah. And I don't mean it in terms of like the unhealthy ways and stuff like that. But if you're a small girl, you want to be a big girl, go ahead and do it. If you're a big girl, you want to be a small girl, go ahead and do it. For me, that's what body positivity is all about. Just being very confident in your body. And if you don't like how it is, then you take the healthy measures to make sure that it's where you want it to be. That's how I think about it. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
For me, it's majorly being confident in your skin. Because, yes, I can oscillate between different weights and all that. But if right now I'm small, then I need to learn how to work with it confidently and in a healthy manner. Like, meaning I'll not learn how to dress my body. As no one will say, "Ay, no, mekonda." I'll be like, "Yes, what content you see?" As in, you can't call me out or not on my body because I'm like, "Yo, I'm comfortable." Yeah, so I think it's majorly confidence in the skin that you are in.
Right. So I like that you guys all of you guys have pointed out confidence and like mental, like that mental state of you being at peace with what the skin you're in. What is like on a personal level, what has your journey been like? You know, like learning to accept it. Actually, let me tell you guys, personally growing up with our family, there are no small bodied people in our family. Now, when you work, it's like wawili. So my grandma, they're traditional. You know how Africans, they tell you, like ukikonda is a sign of either you're broke or you're depressed or you're sad. They don't think, you know, like umekonda is never usually, I can see your face. It's never, it's never usually, a lot of time, because like on a personal level, me, my shosh, akisema, hey, you knew. Like when she gives you that look, you knew she's just trying to tell you something must be wrong with you because you get. So the people I grew up around weren't people who would call out us being the thick side girls, you get. So I grew up on that nini for I'm okay like that. And then adolescence hit and apparently stretch marks, at mimi kuwa na stretch marks, mi kuwa na cellulite, it became like a thing where when you're just sitting up at 13, exactly. I'm just like, oh snap, it's a problem for me to look like this, you know, like fast forward to now in our early 20s, I've started working towards it. But that 13-year-old girl was shaken down by those comments to the point where you couldn't even appreciate yourself for the puberty you were going through, you know. Okay, that's my, in a nutshell.
Yangu iliniruka.
Yeah.
Well, for me, the thing that you've pointed out about adolescent, when I was young, as a kid, I was chubby. And then I grew out of it in my toddler years. You know, I was just healthy, normal size, everything was okay. Adolescent. What is adolescent? Why did we, why?
What did it do to you?
I swore, I just became, should I say swollen? I just swelled. And then the thing is, I feel like how I was swelling, because for me, I was swelling in a way that my thighs were bigger. So majorly my lower part was big. So comparing myself to my friends, as for them it was like, of course, adolescents, naturally, everything was, what's the word? Everything was in balance. Everything was proportional. But for me, everything was like, and I'm just like, what's happening?
Right.
So I used to complain to my mom. She's like, uko too sour. But there are things like let's say we'd go for a few games, like game trips or something. And I'm like, hey, are you sure you're going to run? Hey, you're going to slow us down. Are you sure you can ride that bike? So those things used to come, like, I don't think they would notice, but they kind of hunted me as I grew up. Yeah. So in growing up, even though I wouldn't call myself fat or too big, I just had that mentality of, hey, you're too big, hey, you're too fat, you need to do something. So I kept growing with it that, hey, I'm too fat. And no lie, it has taken me a while to be comfortable with who I am, with what I have. And the fact that I also do it with working out, I'm not doing it because, yuck, I hate it. I'm doing it because I love myself enough to actually make a change.
That's the tweet. That is the tweet.
And that's
a period.
Nice.
Yeah.
No, I think for me it's different from you because in our home we are like the size zeros. Like you should see my aunts. Everyone is like waist 22, boobs absent, as in us does not exist.
Like,
Yeah, after aunts have kids, and those kids have kids. But if you see my aunt, she's like, whew, as in we can wear clothes. So me, I was okay. Then I went to. Then now, you know, high school, primary, no one could tell me anything because my mom was actually in the same school I was in. But also as a kid, I don't think kids looked at each other like, okay, in my opinion, siko yambati nimekonda in primary. Me, new first of all, and next, Tyra Banks, American Next Top Model, was at the time really, really loud. So everyone was like, you should be on that thing. I'm just like, yes, me, model. High school. Mixed school. Now where una matiti? I'm just like, stop. So for the first time in my life, I went from being so confident to just being like, what's the boobs?
Yeah.
Then I have these, what are they called? Collarbones.
I love them right now.
Someone once told me, tuko tunafua. Ati niwezeka sabuni yangu hapo. And I was just like, you know, naturally I'm just confident and I never really allow people to get to me. As in, you'll get me, but you won't notice. They're just like, unawezeka. But I was so hurt. As in, I remember I went and called my mom and I was like, Mom, wameniambia. Then my mom laughed like, but ni ukweli. So that has been my journey with being skinny. Then fast forward coming to campus kwanza wasichana walikuwa thick.
But I had a feeling before there was no thick.
There was nothing.
But you see, men have always appreciated being thick. Look at life.
Which
Look at
men?
me.
African men?
African men have always appreciated being thick because people used to tell me, I'd say, Aki, you have such a nice body. But me, I remember guys used to tell me, Asha, you're so smart, but if you are, ungekuwa tuna kanyama kadogo tu. Mpaka sahi, like right now I'm meeting guys that is saying me, ungekuwa tuna kanyama kadogo tu. So for me, I keep telling people I have the right body, maybe in the wrong continent, because African women are naturally thick.
Right.
Like they're thick. Then me too, niko hapo, size 22 waist. My tailor keeps saying, na hii waist yako iongezeke. As in, it's like for me, I think I'm used to being called out on my weight. I remember I was talking to my boss and then he's like, how many kgs? And like 50. Also, he was like, so you're basically bones. And I'm just like, hey, okay. So yeah, my life is just, as in, I'm so used to being thin and being told I'm thin. But I'm just like, yeah, some man made a rude comment. Akasema, Aki kwa matatu, wewe ni size yangu nitakukunja tu kama laptop. And I'm just like,
Men
Speaking of size zangu tunakuja hapo.
Yeah, so for me that's it's normal.
It's like something you had to just
Actually
kinda like live with.
usiponiambia
thank you next.
usiponiambia I'm just like, oh, leo uja notice. Like when I meet new people, I'm like,
Yeah.
I expect them to notice. Mostly the collarbones.
For you, Christy, because you're in the fashion industry, like that whole space in general. So what was it like for you, like fitting in with yourself, your body and your style, and now that of bringing other people into the picture? Because you're styling different body types, you're being told certain things should go a certain way, but there's also what you believe in terms of body positivity and yeah.
So I think, so I've worked with a small girl, I've worked with a curvy girl, and I've worked with like really big girls. And through my conversations with them, I really get to understand how insecure they get. Everyone with everybody is insecure. So how it's been translating my style to them is, first of all, I really try to make them feel confident in what they're wearing, because small girls don't want clothes that won't show their boobs. In fact, small girls don't want to wear cleavage outfits. They don't want to wear anything that's making their boobs look really small. So that's something I picked, and I try and work really fast with it. Big girls, of course, they want things that like are kind of compressing their body or not showing their stretch marks or stuff like that. So it's a matter of accepting to make them feel comfortable, but then at the same time, looking for a stylish way to bring it in, and then making sure they leave there feeling as confident. Because I still put small boobs girls in like cleavage, because there's a way you can make it classy. Because if I style you and then you are a small girl and you're just like, I'm never going to wear cleavage, and then I don't put you in that, I didn't touch you as a person. You just left that shoot like, oh.
So it's
you're
actually
not-
true. So I just
like how this is how it should be. How this is how it should be. But if you can show them how they should accessorize, then it's like, oh, okay,
So
I think I can do this. Exactly, like a big girl. You tell them, oh, okay, fine, no, just wear a bikini, but do a cover up. But don't do a cover up like a hard nini. Let's do a sheer. Let's show your skin.
Yeah.
So that's how the journey has been for me. It's really like kind of understanding what makes the different body types insecure, and not really hiding it, but trying to now like accentuate it. Accentuate it, yes. Like to try and bring it to life. So yeah, if I would say it from the styling perspective, that's what it looks like.
I like that we've gotten kidogo personal. So natakuliza now, this other gender, this one that likes to tell us how
We should look.
And I like that thing umesema size yangu.
I don't understand the definition behind it.
The
Like,
definition of when it's size yangu.
Yeah, like when someone says when
I
size
really
yangu, what are they thinking?
Men,
Like, what
tell
are they
us.
thinking?
I really don't know.
I think not that I'm a man, but I
It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, like when it says yeah.
I think you're my preference.
Yeah.
You're what I'd do. You're like, it's like a menu. Kuna hizi vitu zote lakini wewe tea, kuna latte,
Right.
nini. Every single day nitakukunywa wewe, as in you get. Eh.
Okay,
Now-
like a preference.
Yeah, it's a preference that I might not
Subscribe to.
No, I am going to that I might not compromise on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, then with that, I think now I think that's when for us, it's upon us as women, like you guys have mentioned, to just be in a mental state where you are appreciating the skin you're in, such that if I'm working with you and then asema ni size yako, I won't feel bad for being
Not size yake.
You get like nile kuji appreciate for who you are,
Kujikubali, yeah.
and But I think, what do you feel? Okay, there's this aspect for one size fits all. When you hear that whole statement, what do you guys usually think of it?
If we ate the same, if we drank the same, if we went to the gym the same, we'll still not look the same.
Fact.
We, as in ata tufanya, we will still not look the same. So every time I see maybe a thick girl being bashed for being thick, I keep saying, if it's on the right scale, BMI and everything, you're okay. If it's something, as you mentioned, if it's something you need to change, if it's affecting you health-wise, you need to change. And also, it's not just that you can be guy.
It's fine.
You can be over thick, that's unhealthy, but you can also be anorexic. You see that two sides, yeah. So it's not just that.
The same way you can be thick and over nini, but then you can also be
Yeah,
obese.
so as long as it's healthy, Yeah, but every time I hear someone say, amenona sana. If tukikula wote nyasi kama ng'ombe. You see different kinds of cows. Na kuna ng'ombe. Na watu wanakula ngati nyasi.
Na unakunywa maziwa.
But wote wanakaa. So me I'm just like, shut up. Kwanza if you're not a woman, tuko na mashida hata
I mean, hormones, there's also hormones that play the part.
And it's so
pleasing.
alafu utakuja kuniambia man.
That's true. That's so true.
And I don't know why it's happening. And I've realized that especially with the hashtag that, that True Love is pushing for the TL body positivity. So we have like those beautiful ladies. And then someone just comes and comments that this is obesity, stop promoting obesity. And I'm like, what's wrong with you? Like, can't anyone just be happy with their body? And then you answer them, like to say, just support them. And then they come back like, oh, I actually know that girl, she eats a lot of junk. And I'm like,
on whose bill?
Oh, thank you. On whose bill? Am I eating your food?
I don't get why it's such a bother. That's the one thing I don't get. It's just it presses people so much, and it's like...
I think another problem is that maybe I'm obese, or maybe I'm anorexic right now, but right now I'm enjoying this space. Right. It's positive. I know I'll go back. I'm still obese or I'm still anorexic. It does not change. Yeah. But maybe I'm working on it. You don't know my behind the scenes. So you two picha moja ndo umeamua kufocus on kuniambia niko na mashavu nono ama sina mashavu. Like please.